Okay, so this is your electric griddle. This is the power cord. This has to get plugged into the side right here. It's the only place where you can plug it in. So you put that in, and then you plug it in, and make sure it's the plug-in that's far away from your sink, because this cannot go in the sink before, during, after, ever. It's never going in the sink, okay? Then this is your heat device. You're gonna turn that to about 375. So you can see it says 350 and 400. I'm gonna put it right in between there because I want it to be 375. And then in the meantime, you can mix up your pancake batter while you're waiting for the griddle to heat up. Okay, so now for the apples that you might be using for your garnishing to make your animals, after you make sure you wash it really well, then you can take this, which is a peeler, and take the skin off. If you want. Carefully is right. We don't want to cut ourselves. You don't have to take the skin off, but if you want to, you can. And I know in the pictures that we had, the skin was off, so I'm going to show you how to make it look like that. And you want to make sure your peelings don't go all over the place, because you're going to have to clean them up when you're done. Keep them on the counter. They're hard to sweep off the floor. They get stuck. So you want to keep them on the counter. And then you take this device, which is an apple corer, and then at this time having a cutting board will be good, because you could wreck your counter with the end of this if you don't use a cutting board. So you take cutting board and you put this right through the middle. And then as you can see, the core is now out of my apple. Take the core out, move that to the side. And then I am going to take my knife and very carefully cut the apple in half. Put it like this. And then I can make slices that I can use for my garnishing. And you have to make sure to keep your fingers out of the way of your knife very carefully. Now I have slightly different ingredients than you because I don't have strawberries or grapes at home. I'm going to be using blueberries and almond bits, and I don't have chocolate chips. I have chocolate squares. But just like with you, how you can make whatever animal that you want, that's kind of what we're going to do too, is just kind of make our own thing. So now our griddle is probably warmed up, and this bowl was probably too close to the griddle. Remember, we have to keep anything flammable or meltable far away from our griddle because it will melt it. So I'm going to go over here, and like I said, using like a measuring cup of some sort sometimes works nicely for scooping out pancakes onto the griddle. And I'm going to make, I think I'm going to do one owl. So I'm going to pour, let that one spread out. That can be the body. And I'll do another one, a little bit smaller.
Oh, you should do a snowman.
Ooh, Adeline wants to make a snowman, so we'll do a snowman too. Okay.
Make sure there's 3 bits.
So for our snowman, we're going to do one. That will be like our bottom piece. And then this one can be our middle piece. And then while we're doing this, we also want to have this by us, which is a rubber scraper, because when I get to toward the end, it's harder for me to get this out and scoop it, but you'll be able to see that there's still quite a bit in here when I start taking my rubber scraper and working through the pancake stuff. In fact, now that I look at this, I might have to not pour the whole thing to make sure that the head's smaller than the rest of the snowman. All right, I think it will work. I think it's the right size. It's going to be a football-shaped head, but that's okay.
Yeah. Or an oval-shaped head.
All right, so now all of our pancakes are on the griddle, and we're just gonna kind of hang out and watch these. Right now we can tell they're not ready to flip.
But the chocolate chips?
We have to wait. We're watching for this side to start getting lots of bubbles to know that our pancakes are ready to flip. So we're gonna kind of watch for that to happen. We're also kind of watching to see, like, the edges will start to look like less liquidy and more firm. So we're going to kind of watch for that. We're starting to see a couple bubbles pop and pop up here. So they're forming and then popping.
Oh, I see that one's almost. You can see its bottom almost. That one's looking pretty good too.
I'm going to take my dirty dishes and put them in my warm soapy water in my sink while I'm cooking so that they're not in my way.
And I will do the flipping because I'm the world's champion baker. Make sure it's also looking at me too. I want it to be the
All right, we're starting to see more bubbles showing up and popping. That's good.
Got big bubbles.
And I'm going to take a peek underneath this one.
Ooh.
That looks like she's doing pretty good under there. So,
Adeline, make sure you can see me because I'm a professional baker. Maybe you haven't seen me before, but I'm a champion world record person for the most flip pancakes on earth. And I'm just 8, so that's a pretty good accomplishment. Nope, that one's not ready. Oh, hey, I already got to flip 2, and you don't have as much experience as me. Is it burnt or is it just?
they're kind of a little dark, but they're okay. They're not burned.
They won't be crunchy. What about the chocolate chips?
You have the
like
chocolate
pieces?
chips over there. All right, so now our pancakes are kind of finishing up. And mine are going to be a bit darker than yours because I have whole wheat flour. So that's why my pancakes are a bit darker.
Mama, can I flip the rest?
We're just we're making the snowman.
No,
And then, do you want to put the owl body and the owl head together on that one?
Sure. Okay, I'm just gonna flip up the owl body. My mama's beautiful, perfect little owl. The big one. I'm the world record holder. Oh yeah, I forgot that Stacy with it.
And then I'm gonna turn off my griddle so I can start to let that cool down before I have to wipe it down because we want to make sure we don't end up getting burned. So I'm gonna kind of play with.
Are the
I
apples
think
gonna
I'm
be
gonna have my
ears?
owl be this direction,
So that
and then Lou, here's your.
I'm gonna
You can decide how you want those to be laid out.
Okay, so I want.
And then we're gonna use our garnishes.
So first I have my eyes, and so I'm getting itchy. So these are the wings for my. I didn't burn myself. I didn't touch it. That hurts too. Anyway, we're just gonna grab another wing. Make sure they can see me too, Daddy. And then for the beautiful mouth, we're just gonna get some blueberries. I want a button blueberry. So these blueberries are gonna look nice on the snowman. So every snowman has a smile. It's kind of tilted. Let's see. There we go. That's better. Now we can make them out. So he makes sure he has a smile on his face. So we're just gonna put that up a little, and then we're gonna look for the buttons, which of course they're gonna be my favorite subject, chocolate. So a button and another button, and of course he needs a top hat, because what snowman doesn't have a top hat? So we're just gonna center them out to the middle more. So this is mine so far. We need a hat for him. So these will do for my hat first. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna grab these.
All right. So Adeline's kind of done with her snowflake, or her snowman, excuse me. She's kind of still playing around with it. I'm done doing my owl. So I could just then call Miss Bloom over and say, here is my animal pancake so that I can get checked off. And then I can go get some syrup, enjoy and eat, and make sure I clean up my kitchen really, really well.
Ooh, I'll be Miss Bloom.